Danny,
No.
I'm actually surprised you even were able to open up your email, click on this link, and get on this podcast. I'm impressed.
Without Jared or my wife. I did it all by myself.
You might want to call him Vinny Boom Bops.
Danny, I'm Colin. It's nice to meet you. And yesterday,
nice to meet you, Colin.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. You're a legend. So yesterday we had the deli guy on, famous social media guy. He's a great product up in North Jersey. He had like 20 people setting up his phone for him before the show. It was hysterical. Like his wife, his son, and he was doing the show. Like, it was unreal.
I'm kind of set up on a tripod with some Jenga. I got it set up on like a whole Jenga thing. I got books, and I'm in the office upstairs. As soon as I got out of here, I'm going home. I got to hit the simulator. I got a big golf day tomorrow, so I got to get my swing. I got to get my swing right.
Now,
although I think I've got it. I know I say it all the time, but I think I've got it figured out. So we'll see.
So in the simulator, are you at the range, or are you at Augusta?
No, in my garage.
Well, yeah, Colin, Danny's got a full Top Golf set up in his garage. This guy plays more.
No, not a Top Golf. not Top. I wish I had. I took my son there the other day. That was fun over there. I enjoyed it. I used to have it here, but then I put a ball through the TV, and then Jared yelled at me, said to move it to my garage.
My question though is, on the simulator, like we have one in the locker room with the Panthers. Are you playing like certain courses? Are you just going to a random range, like virtual range? Like how are you?
I do it all. So I'll just say I try to hit like 100 balls a day, 100 swings a day, and then if my wife is this going to air?
No.
Yes.
Or yes.
Oh,
whatever.
This part right here.
Look at our saying yes and no. I love it.
Well, I'll say it politically correct. If my wife doesn't need me, I will play 18 holes.
There you go. Man, you are a wise man. But we can formally start the show. Danny from Angelo's Pizza, everybody, has joined the Samboner show. Can't thank you enough for jumping on this afternoon. Like I always say, it's an unbelievable time to be a Samboner. It's also always a great time to be a breadhead. And this is the King Breadhead here in South Philadelphia. Unfortunately, the big golf match between the Breadheads and the Samboners had to cancel, and it's
happening this year. It's happening this year. It is definitely happening.
So, Danny,
but not in Lulu. We gotta pick a neutral site. Lulu is your home turf, so we'll have to find somewhere more neutral.
Oh yeah, I mean, where are you? Where's your home turf? Where do you play mostly?
Oh, I play everywhere. Really, I have. I'm on the waiting list at Tavistock at the moment. But me and Frank get to play everywhere, so we're kind of lucky in that regard. It's really not what you know; it's who you know. So
it's the same with Samboning too. It's not what you know and who you know. And I'll say this. What I do know is this, and again, this is loose. We chop it up here, have a great time. But I had your cheesesteak for the first time about 2 months ago when I went up to speak to the Temple football team. And it's literally nothing like I've ever had in my life, I'll be honest with you. It's a whole nother world than a cheesesteak, in my opinion. Cheesesteaks are what I had growing up. Whatever that was is an elite, best sandwich, best thing I've ever eaten. You're considered like the greatest roll on earth. What makes the roll so special?
Hold it, Danny.
That makes me nervous. It makes me very uncomfortable.
Colin couldn't resist, right? So we're sitting here, we're thinking to ourselves, right? So we're just going to dive right into it, buddy. We can't help ourselves. You married into the Sarcones.
Go ahead.
You married into the Sarcones family, and you quickly became the best bread, the best roll in all of Philadelphia, in the fucking world, for that matter. Talk to us about it, Danny. Give us what we all want.
Well, I mean, listen, I say it all the time. I like making pizza and I like making sandwiches, but I love making bread, man. I just really do. There's something so primal about taking flour, water, salt, and yeast and nurturing all the way through the stages. And, when the bread comes out in the morning, I mean, if you guys watch Instagram, that's my favorite part of the day. I get to listen to music and bake bread and the sight, the sound, the smell of bread coming out. For me, it's, there's nothing like it. I mean, it's really what I love to do: golf and bake bread. So,
you have
I had a bakery. I was a, huh?
Yo, go ahead. No, I said you have
I had a bakery
in there as well.
Oh yeah, it's not, and none of it is like planned or anything. We just I attract crazy people, so and I like it. So it's cool. We have a lot of fun here. We have a great crew here, and I should say, really, first and foremost, that really nothing that this shop does is possible without the awesome people that we have here. It's really cool. I mean, I like everybody that's here, and the people that are here are strong, because this place is a meat grinder, and nobody's more surprised about whatever is going on with this shop than me. I thought we were going to be just like a little corner shop selling some sandwiches. And
so, Dan, what's the buzz right now? We go through this little post Super Bowl lull, but now we got things picking up, like the March Madness, the St. Patrick's Day, the Phillies down in Clearwater. Does your business thrive off of sports for the most part? And in-house, do you guys kind of get together and do a little March Madness pool or whatnot?
No, not really. I mean, I think they have pools going and everything, but
you're too busy golfing.
I can't pick a winner to save my life. Yeah, just guys. Like tomorrow, like I said, 12 of us are getting together. We're going to play golf down Atlantic City in the early afternoon, and then we're going to head over to Ocean. They got a bunch of rooms, and we're gonna drink and eat and bet games all day in the sports book. It's kind of like our yearly thing. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to bet what other people are betting. I don't really pay much attention to college football, and I haven't spoken about the Eagles since the Super Bowl, man. I haven't listened to sports talk radio. I haven't talked about the Eagles at all. People are talking about the turf and the call, and I can't do it. I can't do it. Like I was at the Super Bowl with my father-in-law, and we were supposed to fly home Monday. We were supposed to fly at 10 o'clock to San Diego to do an all-nighter back to Philly, from San Diego to Philly, and get back in Philly at 6 a.m. As soon as we left the stadium, leaving the Super Bowl, I called American Express. I said, I don't care what it costs. Just get me the hell out of Arizona as fast as possible. And we boarded a flight at 5:30 in the morning, like 8 hours later. We boarded a flight back to Philly, and the plane ride home was like a funeral. I mean, it was all Eagles fans, and it sucked. I mean, it really, really sucked. There was no point in that for like the 3 months leading up to the Super Bowl, and then once we made it there, I didn't even put any thought into them losing. I mean, it didn't even dawn on me. I mean, Andy Reid was on the other side. We're up 10 at halftime. I'm like, we're gold. We're gold. And then,
Danny, I hope that this show has allowed you to finally get that off of your chest. Did that feel good? Release some of that?
A little bit. Listen, it is what it is. They didn't lose because of the call. They didn't lose because of the term. It's just, it didn't work out. So, but it was, man, it sucked. And the Phillies losing, I mean, the way the Phillies lost too, that sucked. So it's been there were fun runs, but then in the end, I would like the parade.
We have very strong skin here in Philadelphia. There's not many people that can get through back-to-back World Series losses, Super Bowl losses. You're a 4-for-4 guy. Who's your number one out of all four Philly sports teams?
I don't really have. I mean, listen, I was raised a hockey kid. I mean, we were big fighting. Don't get me started with the Flyers, but I don't really have. I don't really have a favorite. I enjoy them all. Like even now, I watch every game of the Flyers. When the Sixers sucked, I watched every game for the most part. Yeah, I go 4-for-4. I don't really have a favorite. I would love to see a cup, though. I would really. I mean, don't get me wrong. I won a Super Bowl. I won an NBA championship, and I would love another World Series. And we got good chances in them three, but I would really, really, really love to see a cup.
He's a hockey guy. He's a hockey guy.
Yeah, Danny, I'm a hockey guy too. And,
hockey.
I just. It's something. Oh yeah, big time. And there's something about it. I think the NHL playoffs and the triumph that it takes to win that
it's
cup,
the best.
it's another season unlike anything else. Football, you get a first round bye, you win 2 games, you're in the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, don't get me wrong, but these hockey guys have a couple 7-game series, a 6-game series. You just played another 20-something games just to get there, and then you got to win another 4 more against the best team. And these guys all play hurt. It always comes out a couple weeks later. Their groins are off.
They're worried. I mean, they're worried. It's unbelievable. Guys get their eyeball knocked out. They pick it back up, stick it in, and don't even miss the shift. Hockey players are a completely different breed, and it's just a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game.
It is, man. It is.
I'm sorry. I don't know how we wound up talking sports. If you guys want to talk food, I'm sorry.
Man, we got Samboners with no rules with Samboning. I want to go back to South Philly, though, because it's a unique place. It's a unique place. Like, again, I'm from Bucks County, Mick's from Bucks County. I went to Temple. Mick and I are quote-unquote Philly guys, but we're from the suburbs. And so are a lot of people listening to this show. But South Philly is something about the charm to where you're at. Can you talk about the area, what makes it great with the food and the community and the sports?
Well, you know what it is? This was Sarcone's Deli, this spot. We had our place in Haddonfield. I always would have loved to have this spot. My mother-in-law lives right across the street. The bakery is right there, 4 or 5 doors down, however many doors down. And it's just a great block, you know? I mean, it really is. It's a great street. And when it became available, I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. I wanted it so bad. This was originally supposed to be our second location because I didn't want to leave Haddonfield, but my landlord, I've talked about this a million times, was the biggest douchebag on earth. And, you know, we couldn't stay there anymore. And this wound up becoming, you know, our only spot. So here we are. I love it here. It's great. I mean, I couldn't be happier. Yeah, I mean, it's everything I ever dreamed.
Prior to Angelo's Pizzeria, it was Sarcone's Deli, right?
Yeah, it was Sarcone's Deli.
Yeah. How long was Sarcone's Deli there?
Well, Lewis's. No, it's probably only about 10 years. It was Lewis's cousin that ran it and was in charge of it, Anthony Bucci, R.I.P. Anthony. He passed away a couple of years ago, but I think it was here probably like 10 years, maybe a little more. Originally, it was on the corner where the barber shop is, and then Lewis bought this building and moved it over here. So there's a lot of tradition here. So
I'll never forget, Danny. You know, so when we started to venture out and get this Samboning thing, this Samboners thing off the ground, prior to Instagram in 2019, my brother was down in South Philadelphia, and he identified you guys opening up. And he said, yeah, the Sarcone's Deli closed. This Angelo's Pizzeria just opened up. So he went in there, he tried it, he ordered a cheesesteak. The lady at the desk said, do you want American cheese? Do you want Cooper Sharp? And so he's sitting there, and he's doing his little Samboning in his car, and the Phillies game's playing in the background. He's doing this review, and I'll never forget what he said. He said to us, this is like eating a cheesesteak on the best New York bagel I've ever had in my life. And, you know, as Samboners, we talk about bread and the way the bread is the differentiator around cheesesteak. Can you kind of help us dissect, like, what makes a New York bagel good? Why is New York pizza better than Philadelphia? Why does Philadelphia have the best cheesesteaks? But, like, is it the water? Is it the minerals? Is it the wheat, the barley? What are we talking about here? What makes Philadelphia cheesesteaks better, and what makes New York bagels better? Can you answer that for us?
You know, I really don't know. I mean, some would argue the Korshak bagels are the best in the world. And, you know, he's right over there attempting tasker. So, listen, I never bought into the whole water thing. I know there's people who say, you know, you can't make good bread in Florida. You can't make good bread here, there, or the other because of the water. New York's got good water and Philly's got good water. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. I think, you know, I made some bread down in Florida a few times, and it came out exactly like it did here. So I think cheesesteaks are our culture. You know, I mean, that's who we are. I think a lot of it, I mean, I really don't know, to tell you the truth, but if on the spot, I would say, like, roast pork and cheesesteaks are Philadelphia culture. So we kind of know how to do it. It's kind of second nature, whereas, you know, New York bagels, first of all, bagels are boiled, right? So when we used to make bagels, like forget it.
No, go.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think cheesesteaks cheesesteaks are. Well, no, I mean with bagels, like people would ask me, "Are your bagels boiled?" Well, they're boiled. If they're not boiled, then it's just bread. It's not a bagel. That's where you get your chew from bagels. That's how you get your crust, and everything. So for me, I know there's places that don't boil them, and believe me, I don't. I'm not throwing shade at anybody at all. But for me, a bagel ain't a bagel unless it's boiled before it goes into the oven. So.
And the reason I asked you that, I texted you too, Danny. I hit this new place down in Bristol, Pennsylvania. It's getting all the buzz here in 2023. You know how we do. We try to spotlight new places and try to help small businesses, local businesses as much as we can. And I went down and talked to this guy. It's called Loretta's Cafe in Bristol, PA. This dude, Lou, totally nice guy, Italian family, just like yourself. And I asked him where he's getting his bread. It's a really nice cheesesteak, ribeye, Cooper sharp, fried onions, the whole nine. He says, we're getting it from New York. It's a fresh semolina roll from New York. I said, interesting. I don't know of any people doing that. And I didn't think that would be the perfect marriage. And I was caught off guard. It was very, very good. And I started to think to myself, like, why aren't other people doing this? Is it just a cheesesteak thing and New York sticks to the bagels and pizza? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, if this tastes that good and this roll is that good, because it did kind of have a hint of yours. It had that, like, just that New York feel. Well, obviously, it was a New York piece of bread, but it's just a phenomenal piece. Go ahead. What do you think? Got the delay.
Oh, you were breaking. I lost you. It's a phenomenal. I lost you right there for a second.
No, I just said it's interesting how you can have a cheesesteak on a New York semolina, and there's only just one guy doing it, and it's just something that do people think it's not a perfect marriage? Like, again, it's an interesting topic. I think
I can tell you this. For the longest time, shop owners or whatever, in my opinion, looked at bread as just a way to get the protein to your mouth, whether it's a cheesesteak, roast pork, chicken cutlet, meatball, whatever kind of sandwich. They didn't put any thought in the bread. Nobody wanted to spend money on bread, and everybody wanted to use that. I shouldn't say everybody, but most people just wanted to use that boring, soft, supermarket kind of bread. You know what I mean? It's pale and limp and nasty, but my thing was is like the bread should be its own star in the show. You know what I mean? Like, it's all, for me, food, and like, I'm no chef. Believe me, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing, honest to God. But for me, it's always about balance. You know what I mean? So it's the right amount of cheese. I mean, if we're talking cheesesteaks, it's the right amount of cheese, it's the right amount of meat, and it's the right amount of bread to go with it too. That's why we gut all, and it kills me. I work so hard on that bread to get beautiful cell structure, and we just gut the roll. But I like gutting the roll because you still get the taste of the crust, which is the most flavorful part of the piece of bread, and then you can really balance it out with meat and cheese and whatever else you're going to put on it. A lot of the times when you're using a loaf of bread and you leave everything in there bread wise, I mean, then it's like, it's too much bread, and then the balance is off. So it's all about balance, about riding that unicycle. You got to keep your balance, and that's how we do it here. So
it's like Mick.
But it's nice to see that now people are realizing that, wait a minute, maybe we should put some thought in the bread here. Maybe it's not just a way to get the meat to somebody's mouth. Maybe it does need, and for cheesesteaks, it doesn't have to be soft supermarket bread. Listen, John's Roast Pork showed that. John's was my favorite. It still is one of my favorite cheesesteaks, and he did it on seeded bread, on crispy Karanji bread. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be, again, if I show my disdain for that kind of bread, I apologize, but that soft, pale, commercial bread is, for me, I'm out. I'm totally out. Although I will say, like the other night, and I'm not a snob. Like people ask me about pizza, where do I eat pizza, and I tell them I'm not a pizza snob. I eat Papa John's, Poppy Juan's. I'll eat Domino's. I eat Elio's. I still doctor up Elio's, a little granulated garlic and crushed red pepper, and burn that bastard. I'm in heaven, right? So the other night, my wife said, I'm in the mood for a shitty cheesesteak. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I can go for a shitty cheesesteak too. We ordered shitty cheesesteaks from the pizza parlor near our house. And not that it was shitty, but when I say shitty, I mean like bad bread and that mystery kind of meat that you get. Not even steakum. It's like that wafered, watered down, chemical fueled gray kind of, you know what I mean? But listen, I ate it. I loved it. I got a cheesesteak hoagie. I ate every crumb of it. So I'm not a snob when it comes to cheesesteak. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a certain kind, and sometimes I'm not. So, and I eat a cheesesteak a day here, not because I like them. It's because I'm hungry, and it's really the only thing we got. Because Jared breaks my balls about cutlets and meatballs and everything. You know what I mean? And I try to tell Jared because he's like, "Oh, we don't make no. You lose money on them." Like, I know, but the feeling that people get and that I get by giving people the feeling, and not everybody, listen, we mess up and we don't get everything right, but for the most part, we try to make people happy, and no calculator or adding machine can quantify that. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so we lose a little money on them, but damn, I want to sell them. You know what I mean? I want to make them. So, I don't even know where I'm going, but I mean, like, I like shitty cheesesteaks and I like good cheesesteaks too. So, but and if bread is, I'm pretty sure cut above, cut above delis in, where do they grow the mushrooms at? Where's Kennett Square?
Yeah.
Is he in Kennett Square? Cut above.
It's nearby.
He gets bread in from New York, I think.
Great spot.
Yeah. I think they get bread in from New York. I could be wrong, but I think I've been out in the bread business for a while now. But I'm pretty sure they get some bread in from New York City. So, or New York somewhere. Now I don't know about New York City. Maybe Brooklyn. Maybe.
You hear that, people?
Queens, Staten Island, one or the other.
Danny from Angelo's. He got a cheesesteak hoagie. So I don't want to hear people giving me shit.
Oh, yeah. Cheesesteak. And I'm going to even blow your mind even more. I don't give a shit what you say about me. I put mayo on it. I did. I got mayo on it. Because I'm trying to hide that shitty meat flavor. So I put some mayo on there. Raw onions, salt, pepper, oregano. Listen, people got pissed at me because growing up, I don't do it all the time. My wife does it too. I will, every now and then, put mustard on a cheesesteak. And I know people are going to, try it. Just try it and then talk to me. I know you're not supposed well, no, I'll use French's, in the barrel. Is that French's, the one in like a yellow barrel? Yeah. But I've been doing that since I was a kid. I've been obsessed with cheesesteaks since I can remember. So I would cook steakums in a frying pan with white Wonder Bread and put mustard on that and American cheese. Come on.
Something else, right? If you just call it a steak sandwich and not a cheesesteak, it's no big deal. But people in Philly are like, whoa, it's a cheesesteak. It's like, well, it's just meat, cheese, and a condiment. It's not, it just.
It's not. It's a pretty easy thing to do. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like cooking up some meat, finding some pretty good bread.
It's hard to be. There's only a few, like Colin Cowherd always says it. There's only like 5 people that can do the halftime show at the Super Bowl. There's only like, 5 to 10 quarterbacks in the NFL that are really elite. How many like elite people are? And we're pumping your tires here, man. But shit, there's nothing like what you make. It's true. That's fact.
Well, we appreciate it. Listen, we try our best. I'll leave it all up to, I don't get caught up in all that stuff. But it's hard to say with food. Food is so subjective. Like you were just talking, a football game, there's a score. When time runs out, there's a score. That's how you know who the best is, and so on. With food, it's like a beautiful, tall blonde with a flat chest could walk by here right now, and you say, "Oh my God, Danny, it's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen." And I go, "Well, no, I like brunettes. I like them a little bustier." So food is so subjective. You know what I mean? Like it's so what I like, you don't like, and what you like, I don't like, and somebody
I had
around the
somebody come
corner
at me
don't
though
like.
for
So
your
it's really
cheesesteak. Somebody came at me for your cheesesteak though, and I was like, "No, just go home. You're wrong. Take your ball and go home." I did John's roast pork, and then 15 minutes later, I came to your place and stuffed my face. First off, your staff is tremendous there. By the way, you mentioned that earlier.
they're the
Everybody was
best. I'm telling you,
everybody
they're the
was
best.
so gracious. Everyone was great.
And
Everyone
they
was
get
so
their
nice.
ass kicked. They deal with some
Oh,
shit, man.
they do.
I mean, that's why I don't go nowhere near that front, man, because the shit they deal with, I could never. And I'm a pretty calm guy now. I think, like, I turned 50 again. I lost my eyesight. Everything's going to shit. I think I lost a lot of my testosterone, too, because I don't really want to fight with anybody. I really don't. Like, leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. You do you. I'll do me. And we'll leave it at that. But, man, the story, they told me one the other day, I think it was Saturday, a guy came in and the girl Nicole, who is a sweetheart, works on the weekends. He said he ordered a pizza and a cheesesteak. He sent his friend to pick it up, but there was only a cheesesteak for him. And the friend put his phone to Nicole's ear, and the guy was like, go fuck yourself or whatever. It's like, oh my God, like I wouldn't be, and he said apparently some other bad stuff, but like, it's not her fault. I mean, this place is crazy and we do make mistakes. We do. Sometimes we put onions on a sandwich and ain't supposed to get onions, or, we forgot your condiments. We do. And, we're human, and I'll apologize for it every time. The last thing I want to do is mess somebody's day up. I'm trying to give you 5 to 10 minutes of forgetting about all the crazy bullshit in this world. So the last thing we want to do is mess your stuff up. But circling back, like, I forget. I don't even know. I don't know what we're talking about. Like, now I got all hot and bothered about that guy telling a young girl to go
if you're
F herself.
Just call back and say, can we put another pizza in? It's not a big deal. Just call back, dude.
Yeah, and we'd happily make you pizza real quick. Yeah, and I do. Listen, I deal with a lot of stuff. A lot of times when people reach out to me and they're mad, and I get it. I get mad too. If I'm waiting in line and I got them hungry eyes and I'm staring at you, you know what I mean? I'm hungry. I want to eat. Where's my food? I get it. I do. But a lot of times people will DM me or get me and they're ready for a fight. And I'm like, yo, man, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm going to refund you your money. Well, how are you going to refund me? I'm here now. Well, you got a Venmo? I'll refund your. We fucked up one cheesesteak and you got 10? Here, I'm going to refund you 10. And I'll tell you what, the next time you come in, lunch or dinner's on me. Bring your family. Bring your Aunt Betty down from wherever she's at and bring her down. I'll buy us all dinner. Then they're like, oh, my God, they don't want to fight no more. And then people, huh?
There's always one, man. There's always one, man.
What do you got, Mickey?
Well, yeah. Listen, I take it with a grain of salt. I really don't let anything bother me like that anymore. I know what we're doing. We try our best. We do make mistakes, and that's that. But when we do make mistakes, I own up to them, and I try to make it right. Most of the time, that same person who was ready to fist fight me is now, oh, all right, cool. And most of the time, I'll tell you the truth, the people don't even take the free food back. You know what I mean? They're like, oh shit, this guy isn't bullshit. Like, he gives a shit. Yeah, I do. I don't want to fuck your day up. It's the last thing. What do you think? I sit around and like, hey, let's fuck up people's sandwiches and pizzas today and fucking piss them off. No, I don't want to do that. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to make you happy, and that's it.
I think it boils down to the 90-10 rule. I think 90% of people you're going to face are happy, and there's always going to be that 10% that just are not, and you have to deal with them. But, dude, outside of cheesesteaks, outside of pizza, Danny, you put together unbelievable concoctions, chicken cheesesteaks, the cutlets there are phenomenal. When we sat down at your place, me, you, and Gargano that one afternoon right around the Phillies run, what was that world-class sandwich you talked about, the number one sandwich that you love to make, the fried meatball of some sort?
It had to be the John Doe. There's the Sunday morning, which is fried meatballs, broccoli rabe, sharp provolone. And then the John Doe, which is fresh moots, fried meatballs, and stuffed long hots. And That's one of the ones, like, if a guy tells you, yo, I had John Doe and, I didn't like it, I'd be like, well, I'm sorry, that's your problem. Like other stuff, I'll be like, all right, I get it, it wasn't for you. But if you have the John Doe and you didn't like it, that's on you, man. That's on
Danny,
you. So
Danny, I know your heart and soul is right there in South Philadelphia, but what does the future look like? Obviously, your golf game doesn't look like it's going to get any better, but what does the future of Angelo's Pizza?
No, you better watch out. I'm telling you, I got rid of the chicken wing, and I'm trying to bow that left wrench instead of having it like this. I gotta have it. Listen, we got some crazy shit happening that I really can't say, but what people we have no business being in business with, and I guess it'll happen when it happens, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes that it's pretty crazy stuff. So I guess stay tuned, really.
I love it.
There's a lot going on. And Jared's excited about it too. And you know him, he is a pessimist. I mean, I'm overflowing full and he is they're ready to drop in that cup. And even
we got a HBO special on our hands here, folks.
It does. And I'll say this to add to the HBO.
Not HBO, but on one of them. On one of them.
Yeah, Colin.
I hear it's a good call, Mickey. We'll see what happens. A couple questions.
It's going to be fun. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sometimes we got a little delay. Everything's excellent. Two for me. One, favorite places to eat for you, and I'll ask my second later. But favorite places you like to go to eat, whether it's South Philly or near your house, like where are you going around the city?
I like Giorgio's on Pine, a little Italian shop right here on Pine Street. We go there quite a bit. Oh man, I mean, we just went to Bardet in Wilmington, Delaware. Oh my God, I was blown away. I mean, these guys got more talent in their damn fingernails than, I mean, certainly me, but I mean, I was blown away. I don't really have favorite places. I just we just go where we feel like going a lot of the times. But Giorgio's on Pine is one. Capitol Grill's always good. Our family goes to steakhouses for birthdays, so if except for me, nobody cares about Daddy. Who gives a shit about Daddy? Daddy can get McDonald's. But like for my wife and my son and my daughter, yeah, we make sure we take them out to a nice dinner. Daddy is like, oh yeah, happy birthday, whatever. I don't really have favorite places, but Giorgio's on Pine would be one, and I'm a meat and potatoes guy, so I like a good New York strip and a baked potato, and some vegetables, and I'm good. You can leave me alone. And then a nice dessert.
Lastly, for me, and then Mickey can go ahead and finish this up here. But there's been some incredible people come by your shop, right? I mean, and I can't relate, but I've been fortunate enough because of my job. I've met some amazing people that I thought I'd never be able to freaking meet. And I'm very blessed and humbled to do that. But who are some of those people for you that have come by your shop?
We have a no fanboy pub. We don't really talk about who. I think Mick. I think it was you who said when Peyton was here, and he was like, "Man, he don't even go on the first." Somebody said he don't even get to go on the front page or whatever because we put a story. Because he was dude. He was the nicest guy in. I mean, the nicest guy in the world. And we have a no fanboy, so you're allowed to acknowledge whoever it is here, but no autographs, no pictures. Just treat them. I'm sure you'll attest to this. The more I've met quote unquote celebrities, the more I realize they're just like us. I mean, they're exactly like us, except they have extraordinary jobs that put them in the limelight. But for the most part, they got wives, they got kids, they've got jobs, and they've got, the stuff that happens in our lives happens in their lives too. They're just like us. But Peyton was really cool, and I felt bad for him because we were downstairs and they were like, because I was texting with him the days later. I can tell you this story. I guess I can. So Howie Roseman tags me in a text, and he goes, Danny, Peyton, Danny. And then he goes on to say something, and he's like, I'm connecting you two. So I don't even realize who it is. So I'm like, hey, Peyton, what's going on? And then I realized, and I text Howie like a couple minutes later. I'm like, is this Peyton Manning I'm talking to right now? He's like, yeah, who'd you think it was? And I'm like, well, you could give me a heads up and say, yo, by the way, I'm going to put you in a text chain with Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? I don't just assume. So it was cool. Peyton was cool when he came in, but I felt bad because like when I came, he was the most gracious guy. And they were like, yo, Peyton's upstairs. Go up and say hi. And as soon as I went up, I'm like, oh my God, his hand is like as big as a bear wrapped up to here. And he gives the phone to a gentleman he was with. He was like, take our picture. You know what I mean? It was like the first thing he did. And then everybody who came up to see him and everything, like he says hi, and then right away hands the phone over, take our picture. And then he's the most gracious guy. He spent like 20 minutes outside of here taking pictures with people outside and everything. So he was really, really cool. We've met some really, really cool people that come through here, and it's silly. I mean, it really is. It's silly because I never expected this, but you know, it's pretty cool. And we don't we don't ask nobody for nothing. Like we don't ask for shout outs or anything like that, or you know, we just, hey, what's up, what's going on, what do you want, here's what we recommend. And if the room's open upstairs, we'll let them go eat up there. If it's not, you know, you gotta eat on a stoop or somebody's steps or in your car,
on the street,
whatever. Yeah, I mean, you know, we catch a lot of shit for that, but like, I don't know what you want us to do. Like, we're in a row home. And I got an addiction with ovens, so I just keep plopping ovens in here and taking space. Like this last oven I got, poor Jared. I mean, it is in the worst spot possible. And we're trying to figure out now, like, how to move it and make it work with the flow. So,
well, that's what I said. I said that to Colin. I said the only way Danny is going to cancel is if an oven goes down. If an oven goes down, his business is up.
No, well, you know, listen. Some guys are in the watches and some are in the shoes. I'm in the oven. You know, that's my thing. I like ovens. So
I love it. Danny, man, this has been a ton of fun. I know you're trying to get out of here, head back home. We got to get out, brother. We got to get out.
I'll talk all day. You know, once I start talking, once you get me talking, I'll talk all goddamn day. I'll bore you to death. You'll know everything. No, it was fun. I appreciate you guys being on. Thank you very much for everything. I wish everybody the best out there.
Danny, you are the best, man. All the best to you, your family. Good luck tomorrow in Atlantic City. Try not to blow too much money. And like I said, Samboners versus the Breadheads, 2023. Who's going to line it up?
Let's go. I say we haven't seen Vinny Boombots in a while. I know he's hibernating like a bear because he don't like the cold, but the weather's warmed up. I heard he had a little bit of a setback with his health, but he's doing good. So hopefully, yeah, we'll get Vinny out there. Listen, we'll make it hopefully in like June, we'll make it a good time. We should actually, what we should do, because we have that Fuck Cancer golf fundraiser that we do yearly. Maybe you guys might want to get involved in this year's, and we'll do it all for a good cause, and maybe do the match era, like a me versus you, Mick, head to head. Because I heard you're a terrible golfer. I won't say from who. Brian McGrath. So maybe you and I go head to head, and we'll have a.
You see his latest, the air cannon?
I saw it. Yous are nuts, man. Yous are really. Was that at Lulu?
No,
was that at Lulu?
I was at Cedarbrook.
Oh God. Because at first I'm looking at it, I saw the text, and I'm like, what are these guys? And then I see a potato gun. Potato guns are fun, man. I mean, it's been a while since I had my hands on a potato gun, but I would love to get my hands on a potato gun. Anyway, we should do it like a Ryder Cup. A Samboner Breadhead Ryder Cup.
Let's fucking
How about that?
go.
I'm in.
Let's do it. But I come up with the ideas, but I need people to put the plans in place. So I'll leave it up to you guys for all the logistics and all that shit.
Samboners, Angelo's, golf tournament. We're going to raise money for a charity. We'll have a blast. Shotgun start. Yeah. We'll fill it up.
Shotgun beers, too.
It'll be a debaucherous afternoon, and we should probably have some kind of thing for afterwards. Now, I know we've been talking to Seaview to do this year's. golf thing for us. So if you guys want to jump on board, that would be cool. We could have a bunch of fun, raise a bunch of money, and do good things for people. And that's what it's all about.
That's exactly what it's all about. Danny, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate your time today. We can continue to do this.
I had a ball.
Awesome. So much fun.
And one of these days, I'm going to get a Sambone review. I'm going to do a Sambone. I don't know. I'm not hip to your months and what months, but if there was like I don't know.
Actually, give the keys to your kid, man. He seems like the natural in the family. He's the Samboner natural. You had him in your shop. He was having a ball.
Oh, he had a ball. Well, that was his punishment. And then my wife got mad at me. She's like, he ain't going on his field trip. Make him come in to work with you at 3 a.m. I'm like, for real? Like, you're really not going to let him go on the field trip? And she was like, yeah. So then I thought she was kidding. A couple of days go by, and I could see he was there. I said, what's bothering you? No. I said, why? You want to go on your field trip? This is the day before. It was a Thursday. He goes, yeah, I really want to go on my field trip. I was like, yeah, don't worry. You ain't got to come in to work with me. Go on your field trip. 20 minutes later, my wife calls screaming, did you tell him? I said, well, yeah, I didn't think you were serious. She goes, he's going to work with you. I said, holy shit. But he wound up loving it. He had a great time. And, he hit the wall, getting up at 3 a.m. and coming in here and hanging out. Not that he was like working, but he hit the wall like 1 in the afternoon. So I said, go ahead, go upstairs, go to sleep, take a nap, do whatever you got to do. And then when I came up here at like 7, 8 o'clock, he was like, I'm tired. And I'm like, oh, yeah, And he's like, you do this every day? I said, what the hell do you think I do? Play video games all day? Yeah, this is what I do every day. So my kids think I'm Daddy Doofus. They think somehow the food fairy puts food in the fridge and the house fairy keeps a roof over their head. You know what I mean? No, this is what I do every day. So,
son, let me teach you a value of $1. Start making this bread.
Hilarious, man. You are hilarious.
But no, he did. He's going to start coming in a couple days a week this summer, and my daughter is too to work the what's name. So that should be interesting.
Good. So we'll call and complain about our.
All right, go ahead. I'll talk your off all day. Guys, it was a pleasure. Sambone Breadhead Ryder Cup for charity. Look for it. Mick is going to set the whole thing up. Any questions, email him. I got nothing to do with it.
Samboner out, baby.
Samboner out. Thank you.
You're the man. I'll see you guys soon.
See you, buddy. Danny. Oh, wow. What a legend. What a legend.
Oh, man. Dude, we could have talked with him for probably the rest of the afternoon, honestly. Like, who needs these March Madness basketball games when you got Danny, the king of cheesesteaks in South Philadelphia? Holy shit. The guy's electric, Colin.
The guy is an absolute electric factory. And, I don't even know what to say. It's funny, Mick and I, I'm pretty transparent on here. We were talking today about Samboners getting involved in charity, food banks, and we are going to, but that's a great opportunity right there. We are just talking about this an hour ago. Well, the guy's electric. Mick, you know him personally. I do not. And there was a little delay, folks, too. So bear with us as part of podcasting. So Mick and I are sometimes talking over each other and he's jumping in. We're trying to figure it all out, but that's all good. It's all fun in the hood. But you want to talk about my first reaction to him. What a gracious, smart, hardworking man. Just unbelievable.
There's not many out there like that, Colin, that get out.
No. Again, that's the point.
Well, 3 a.m. and
like Howard says, man, there's only so many greats in the world. That guy's a great.
3 a.m. to 11 a.m. That 8 hours of prep time to serve some of the best product to all the South Philadelphians and everybody around. People are traveling all over the country. You just heard it there. Peyton Manning, right? He's flying in to do an Eagles game, and he knows everything about Angelo's Pizzeria, and it's a must-have for when he gets there. Miles Teller was there during the Phillies, the guy from Top Gun.
He's always around, dude.
Danny could have shared stories for days. His content is unbelievable. Follow Angelo's Pizzeria all day long. The guy's just pumping story content after story content. Throw a couple drinks back here and there. It's just an absolute trip, man.
Can we drink with that guy?
Oh, absolutely. And he'll drink you under the table. I can tell you that much.
That's fine. I'm okay. I am up for the challenge. Yeah. I like everything about that guy. I'm excited for it. Listen, everything we do here at the Samboner Show is brought to you by our friends over at the Original Fudge Kitchen. They ship fudge. They ship. I've been struggling with that. Sweet treats across the country. Listen, mix up the birthday present this year. Mix up the holiday or the anniversaries, the flour. That's great, but it's every year. Get them some chocolate. Do something different. FudgeKitchens.com, guys. There's nothing better whatsoever. Mickey, I mean, listen, there's a lot to discuss from that episode. I think people are going to absolutely enjoy it. There's a lot to look forward to. You want to talk a little bit, just fill people into what's happening next Friday when the Sweet 16 is going on.
Yeah, absolutely. March Madness is in full effect. We have partnered with the folks at the Gall & Company, the Malt House Boys, location in Port Richmond, location in Rockledge. They also picked up the Pizza Parlor in Rockledge, PA. But we are going to be down at the Port Richmond location next Friday, kicking off right around 4 o'clock, 4 to 7. But don't run out of the building after 7. The Sweet 16 games, March Madness, will pick up. We're going to be performing a live podcast. We'll have some giveaways, working on some guests. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be a ton of fun and a great opportunity for people to get out there, meet one another. I'd obviously, Colin, along with everybody else in the Samboner hood, would love to connect with you folks. The amount of just positivity coming out of this platform has been nothing but good fun. So please, if you can, or if you're in the area, stop by the Gall & Company in Port Richmond for the live Samboner show. The live Samboner show.
It's a great event. We're really excited for something different. We're doing here at the Samboners. First show. We're just, this is just the beginning of what we're going to have parties in the summer, a bunch of different things. Mickey, Berardi Brothers, man, sold out of rolls. How good is that?
Oh, my God. Yeah, shout out to our good friends, the Berardi Brothers. Love what they're doing. My friends in CI opened up a spot in Southampton. They're killing it. Shout out to my good friend, Joey's Pizza in Thorndale. They seem to be doing great things in the cheesesteak community, the cheesesteak hood. And good friends of ours, the Delco Steaks. Thank you, the Delco Steaks, for just getting on board with the Samboner show and wanting to chop it up with us. I believe Steve's going to be coming on next week to talk about his cheesesteak bowl out somewhere in Delco. Speaking of Delco, we got a Delco show that we are going to be working on here towards the end of the month. Any listeners out there that want to get involved with the Delco sponsored show, basically just highlighting best places to eat breakfast, best places to eat lunch, best bars, best wings, best cheesesteaks, hoagies, you name it. We want to showcase you. So reach out to Colin or I or the Samboners, and we'll get you involved. But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff here. We are catching some serious momentum. Cheesesteak month, week 3. Holy shit, dude! I think I'm on. What did you say, Colin? You were going to outduel me this month in Sambone. Yep. I think I'm at like 5 or 6 cheesesteaks, pal.
I am at 4. So I'm not too far behind. I'm okay with where I'm at. It's just the beginning. And you're in the Mecca. I'm down here in Maryland. I went to London, and I'm still keeping up. So,
dude, how about Danny, though? Man, we didn't really get enough out of him when it came to the bread and the mystery behind it. But, dude, he flat out put his nuts on the table and said, you take me to Florida, I'll bake this bread. You take me to California, I'll bake this bread.
That's the best part of the whole thing.
In Maryland, he'll bake that bread.
That's the best part of the whole thing, right? He literally said, nah, that excuse is bullshit. Huh? I mean, that's the number one reason in the world. Everybody, New York, bagels, Philly, pizza, Boston. No.
Cheesesteak hoagie with mayo.
Dude, that made my day. I loaded up. That's the thing, though. You could put anything on it. They're bulletproof. He's talking about mustard. It's steak, cheese, and a condiment. I like hot sauce on them. But
that's too much fun, man. Too much fun.
I mean, he literally said, hey, take that rule. We're going to debunk it.
Yep.
The biggest rule in bread making. So I respect the hell out of it. The dude's like, yeah, I can go to Florida right now and do it. Let's all retire down there, buddy. I'll work the register. Nick and I will bartend, work the register. Done. Sign me up. Pumping cheesesteaks and PBRs, citywide specials. We'll be killing it.
PBRs, give me a break.
They had a citywide specials, Mick, in London at the Passyunk Avenue. I was like, I didn't do any. No, I didn't do any. I'm a tequila guy, Mick. I don't do dark booze. But, man, I mean, we'll touch on that too as we wrap up. If you go to London, guys, you got to go to Passyunk Avenue. There's 2 locations. The smaller one is like the original. It's literally like your basement. It is a basement in South Philly. and you put every jersey you have, your college ID up there from LaSalle or Newman or Temple, pennants, just shit everywhere. Newspapers, incredible. Down the basement, almost like a speakeasy vibe, like mix that. It's incredible. It's your bar in your basement in London, in a basement in London on a back street. And then they have another location. I think it's like fits like 500 people. That's more like towards downtown London. So that was a great trip, and it was cool to do a little Philly, do a review. People gave me shit about the cheesesteak. Pretty much my categories are: it's elite, it's great, it's good, it's bad. I thought it was a great cheesesteak. I was shocked. Is it elite? No. It's great though. If you went there and took a bite of it, you've been like, "What the hell?" And that's what the server told me too. The waitress, she's from South Philly, South Jersey. She's like, "Get this, you're going to be jonesing for it." So
that's the beautiful part, man. We'll wrap it up with that. Just, you know, like I said it before, you know, one day we're gonna hop on the Samboner bus and we're gonna hit every state, and wherever there's a Philadelphia cheesesteak place, I'm talking people that grew up in Philadelphia, doing the bus, and then just transplant somewhere else and open up their spot. Let's go fucking find the best cheesesteak in the entire United States.
Damn right.
Samboner Show, baby.
We're out.
All right, buddy.
Enjoy March Madness. Cheers, kids. Be safe. Uber tomorrow. He's on the phone. We're keeping this recorded. Look at this guy.
No, Danny, you were the best, dude. We loved it. We loved it.
Yo, I love to keep this on.
Yeah, you know, there was a little bit of the delay, but we made the
best. Samboner out, everybody. Get an Uber tomorrow for St. Patty's Day. This is chaos. Chaos. Love it. Samboner out.